gonna be like the good old days where we just started
Wait,
off.
it's just a cold opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I could open it up. I haven't opened it up in a while, and
I mean, the people are waiting for you. You've been
oh,
gone.
like you already started recording.
Yeah.
Ah, well, there's our cold open right there, bro. Hello there, welcome everybody to another episode of CafeTalk. I am your host Victor Gutierrez, joined together with the beautiful, lovely co-host Jolen Reed.
How's
Say
it
hello,
going,
Jolen.
everybody?
So right now we're dealing with, as usual, the Backstreet Boys reunion tour, and we're just gonna jump right into it because I got some bad news for everybody listening. The beautiful, lovely Jolen Reed, he might be sick. He might have gotten tickets.
Yeah. I don't even know how. I was in my own home, and lo and behold, there were some tickets in my pocket.
See, that's how they get you, man. You just go from your car to your house, or from your house to your car, not
Yeah,
even
I
like
had
leave your
to.
car, and
Yeah, I had to
Mhm.
call Ticketmaster, and they're getting them reviewed to see if they are real tickets.
yeah.
But for right now, they sure feel real.
Oh, I could imagine. How was your first day when? How was your first night when you realized you had some tickets in your pocket?
Ugh, it's a whole story that I'm gonna get into, but where how have you been, Victor? How things going? We've been gone for a while now.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why we haven't posted any podcast for a while. I went to Mexico to visit family for the first time in like 21 years.
Damn.
I left my family at like 3 years old, and then 21 years later, I finally became a U.S. citizen. And I was like, hell yeah, I'm going out to see them.
Mm,
And it was supposed to be just a week trip. Like we all had planned, we all packed for just 1 week, and then 1 week turned to two, and then 2 to 3, and then we stayed for a whole month. And well, I'm finally back, but
was it? I
a
thought it
lot
was
of
like 2 months.
was it 2 months?
I
Nah, it
don't
was only
even
one
know.
month.
I don't know when you left.
It was probably like a month and a few days, maybe. Because it does
I
feel
see.
like a long time, but well, it felt like I was gone for a long time when I got back here. Because over there, I was like, oh, we've only been here 2 weeks, and then my mom, and my uncle was like, no, we've been gone for like a whole month, and I was like, holy shit, I missed a lot.
I mean, it was enough for. Yeah, dude, you were gone for a while, cause it was enough for you guys to get internet there.
Yeah, well,
And
we
then
we got in
in
it.
the time span that you were gone, the the protests and riots in Santa Monica had started
And ended.
and ended. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah, by the
mean,
time
there's
I
still
got back,
protests going on.
well, yeah, the protests are still going, but like the riots ended.
Yeah, but man, dude,
Um,
2020 has been a hell of a year.
yeah, it's been garbage.
We
It's
got
honestly, I'm not a superstitious guy, but it honestly seems like the start of the apocalypse for sure.
yep, we got World War III, a global pandemic, um, civil unrest, and now Belle Delphine's back.
Belle Delphine is back?
Yeah, she is.
Yo, I haven't heard about that. What's going on with her?
She made so her comeback was like she made like a parody song to 6ix9ine's Goomba.
I haven't even heard that song yet.
Don't listen to it; it's trash.
Yeah, I kind of saw it coming.
Yeah,
But what is
but
it about?
she,
Is it actually like Goombas, like Mario Goombas,
uh,
or
I think so. I think that's the album cover.
yeah,
But
or
I
is it
mean,
just like
6ix9ine
Goomba,
has
like
like
another
a
street language,
yeah.
street
6ix9ine
word?
just has like a habit of naming his songs and albums and stuff. Like I don't even think he has an album. I think they're just singles.
Oh, I see.
But he just has a habit of naming them really dumb things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Belle Delphine made a return, and
So just a refresher, in case my memory is serving me correctly, Belle Delphine was gone because they arrested her, right? Or at least they were trying to like press charges on her with
so
like her content.
that was the story. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are saying that because she's like a notorious troll.
Yeah.
But people were saying that even that story was just like her trolling because I think somebody did like a deep dive and like the car that she trashed or something was like registered in her own name or some crap like that.
Mm, wait, so what's the story then? Like
So the
I
reason why she kind of like disappeared for a while, what people thought was because she got arrested and like doing all this shit would violate parole or something, or I don't know, like she just needed time off.
Well, I mean, okay, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think I know the full story because the what I knew was that she got flagged on Twitter or like I don't know if it was the FBI or I don't know, but I heard that she got pretty much charges against her for pretty much all the shit she did, like the nude pictures online and well not and the OnlyFans and then selling her pee. Was it a pee or her bathwater?
It was bathwater.
Yeah, selling her bathwater, and that's
No, I
what
mean
she got like
out of all
charges
those
for.
things, the only thing that would like get her in legal trouble was the bathwater. But I think someone did like an analysis and there was like no human remnants in the water. It was just straight up tap water.
Oh, okay. And but why were they pressing charges against her? Like, why was she arrested? Is my question. Like, that's what I don't fully
So
understand.
if she really did get arrested, she got arrested because she vandalized someone's car.
Oh shit! See,
And
that's
that
what I didn't
somebody
know.
and that somebody was like calling her out and like, you know, trying to fight her or whatever or saying things about her.
Uh huh.
So then she retaliates by vandalizing this car and then they call the cops. She gets in trouble. But what I'm saying is like even
It was
that,
registered under her name.
yeah, people are like, "Oh, she's probably still just trolling.
Yeah, like it
Like
was just
maybe she didn't
probably
get
another
arrested at all."
another propaganda exploit or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, point is, she's back now and she's making more content again,
Yep, she's
right?
back, so may the simp army rise.
Simp
And so
Barbie.
she came back to announce that she has an OnlyFans, and it's like $35.
Didn't she already have that? I could have sworn she
She had a
already had that
Patreon.
one. Oh, right. Okay. There you go.
No, but anyways, that's I think we devoted too much to this
Yeah, it was
little side.
too much energy for her.
Yeah, to this little side chat. I like Belle, um, because of how much of a troll she is. Like I don't simp for her. She's whatever. I don't think anything of her, but I
Uh-huh.
like how involved in trolling she is on the internet.
See, like to me, see that's why I didn't understand the full story of what was going on with her. Because to me, she's just like a pretty face on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's
It's
just like an
like
e-girl.
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm the only thing that catches my attention from her is the fact that she's like so willing to show her body online and the fact that she's cool with it. So I'm just like I'm scrolling through Twitter or I don't know where like 9gag or any community that posts memes, and then I would see her and be like, oh look, that's kind of hot, and then keep going. You know what I mean? I wouldn't give it as much thought, and then I would hear her get arrested through like Pew News or other YouTubers that are talking about her, and that's how I didn't understand the full story. But like I've heard of shit going down.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But yeah, the fucking this year's been crazy, man.
I know.
Right? Getting back to that topic, now that we talked too much about Bell.
Yeah.
Um, all right. So what happened to you this month that I was gone, Jolen? Aside from getting some tickets to the Backstreet Boys.
So the month was all right. You know, I was trying to think of some new stuff for the channel, some content. Like while you were gone,
Oh,
I uploaded like 3 episodes of gameplay, but then I don't know. I didn't feel. I wasn't giving it my all.
what was it? Was it because you were just tired or you weren't
No,
feeling
like
your best?
I'm not a good solo let's player. Let's playing is like an art.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Yeah, to be able to keep conversations going and actually make it like engaging and entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
I stopped and I was like, I'll just wait for Victor to come back because at that time we thought you were only going to be there for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, me
Turns out
too.
it was longer. So then I did some projects. I repainted the roof of my car.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because it was already like rusting.
Dang, wait, what? From the sun? Or
Yeah,
why?
the sun like
Why
ate through
was
the
it?
paint.
Jesus Christ, man.
Mhm.
Well, and you did it properly this time. You put all the layers on, and it
Yeah.
ended up smooth.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Damn, home crafts right there, DIY.
I know. I mean, you gotta fill your time somehow.
Yeah, especially right now that the world outside is just uninhabitable.
Yeah, and then I'm still. So I tried also animating, like a fan animation, like a Game Grumps animated,
How'd that go?
and I got somewhat far, but then, I got tickets.
So wait,
Oh, I
so
mean,
how
so
far did?
never mind. So I was doing the animation, and then I kind of like lost interest in it because I was like, I need somebody to bounce ideas off of.
Gotcha.
And then I put it on pause, and as I was going back to it, you already came back, and then I got tickets,
Oh, I see.
and here we are.
Damn. And what was the idea behind the animation? Like,
Oh, I mean, I could
was
show
it just
you
a skit?
later.
Oh, I'm just asking like just a little synopsis of it, I
Oh, it was just
suppose.
like like if anyone's ever seen like an animation that someone makes for like their favorite YouTubers or something, where they take like clips of what they said and then you just animate over it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. See, because I was wondering if you were just like if you were doing that or if you were making your own original animation of
Oh
like
no,
story of your life or something like that,
no,
or a day in the life of Jolen.
no, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why I was gone for so long, well, we expected there to be two. We expected to go over there to see my grandma because she was sick, and just to see her because like again like I mentioned I've been gone for 21 years, so I've never got a chance to see her or like talk to her. And we were gonna be there for 2 weeks just to make sure she was okay, and then come back to the states so that we could go back to work. And then if she needed help, we were like either go back in emergency or just send money or supplies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But literally like the like 2 days before we were about to head back, she got worse and to the point where like she just passed away.
Oh
And
damn.
so we had to stay there for longer because we had to deal with the whole funeral
Like the
and trying to get her,
arrangements.
yeah, all the arrangements and stuff. And because Mexico as well as dealing with the coronavirus, everything is closed off. So we had to contact a bunch of like officials and tell them like why we needed to have a at least a gathering of people in a specific location. And then even then, like luckily the immediate family was able to go to the burial and see her, like say give her a goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
But like it turns out pretty much like almost the whole village of Ixclan del Rio, because it's pretty small, but like the immediate village of where her house was, almost everybody showed up.
Oh
But
wow.
they were like smart about it, where they all showed up and they stayed outside the cemetery, and they all kept their distances, like each family was to themselves, and they all had face masks, and they just all were there to support us and say goodbye to my grandmother as well. And and we were okay. And after we dealt with that, we're like, you know what, we're just gonna stay here for my aunt, so that way she's not alone in a big house by herself. And we were thinking like we're gonna stay here for like a few more days, leave the next week. And when those days were coming up, when we were about to leave again, like 3 days before, we started hearing rumors that like my uncle, one of the oldest of the siblings, so like the 8 siblings that my grandma had,
Mm-hmm.
um he was planning on taking police and officials and like lawyers and stuff to the house of my grandmother and pretty much claiming it for himself, saying that it was his property and kicking everybody else out.
Dang.
So as soon as my mom and my uncle heard that, they were like, "Nope, we're staying another week to go talk to some lawyers, see if he's allowed to do that at least." And if he does do that, what can we do? And pretty much we found like an old transaction that my grandfather did, and my grandfather already passed away, may he rest in peace, years ago, like 7 years ago now. But apparently 40 years ago, he actually gave the house to his kids, that being my mother, my uncle, and then like three of my other aunts and uncles that are over there in
Mm-hmm.
Mexico,
Yeah.
but not the two oldest uncles that we have. One of
Oh.
them being the one that wants to claim the house for himself. And so that last week that we were there, we were just getting the officials to read over the contract, or at least the forms stating that my mom and her brothers were actually the owners of the house, and they got it registered, they made it official and all this stuff. So the lawyer said if by any chance my uncle were to come over to the house and claim it as his own, they could just call the cops and have him arrested for trespassing, because the house is actually theirs and not his.
Mm-hmm.
And once we got that settled, finally everybody was at peace. We were able to take a deep breath and a sigh of relief. We're like, you know what, everything's taken care of. We're finally, we could finally leave if we want to. But we were having such a good time over there because we were surrounded by family members that we
You
didn't
guys
want
were
to
like,
leave.
what's one more week?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And also just one more week to make sure everything is settled. In case my uncle did show up last minute, or any of the officials wanted to talk to them or anything like that. So we stayed another week, which made it the whole month this time. And finally at the end, my uncle was like, you know what, I really have to go back to work now. Luckily he was going to start a week before to start working, but he talked to his boss, and his boss was like, I understand the situation with your mom, just let me know when you want to come back to work, and everything's fine with us, like you have a job when you get back. So we
Oh,
were
that's
lucky on that
nice.
part. And and so finally, once that week was up, my uncle was like, we got to head back. But we left the house in good shape, at least, you know what I mean. We got
Yeah.
to see everybody, we got to say goodbye to my grandmother, and we got the whole lawyer stuff settled, so that way they have nothing to fear. And we're good now. We're already here, and my uncle's working, and I'm gonna start working as well, and it's all good now.
All right.
Yeah, that's why I went over there to Mexico for that whole month,
Oh, dang.
rather than the 2 weeks that we were planned.
Yeah. I don't know. It's unfortunate that stuff like that happens
Mm-hmm.
when like a mother or something like passes away, or just like
And
a
then,
parental figure, and
yeah,
then the kids they like fight over possessions.
exactly. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. That's literally like what my dad told me. He was talking to my grandmother, which is his mom, and he was telling her, "Don't leave me out of the will. Like, if you're planning on giving the house and your material possessions to your kids when you pass on, leave me out of it. Like, I don't want any of your possessions." And my grandma was like, "Why? Because you're one of the few kids that I was gonna give stuff to." And my dad was like, "Because I've seen what happens when a parental figure passes on, and I don't want to fight with my siblings. Like, I've already, like, their relationship as brother and sisters are already like pretty rocky and unstable,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to add that on as like a feud between material possessions." So he's like, give it all to them. If they want to fight between themselves, that's up to them. But like, at least I won't be part of it, and that way they'll see them as brother and sister, rather than you know opponents to claim material possessions.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty grown up about you, Dad. Like, that's very mature thing to say, very mature thing to do.
Mm.
But yeah, that's what happened last month. And I also got sick too. But that was
Dang.
that was like just for a day or two. I found out that I was actually allergic to milk myself. So
What the heck? Oh wait, you told me
Yeah,
about this.
yeah, yeah. Apparently, I've never had allergies in my entire life, and out of nowhere, just this allergy sprung up, and apparently it's an allergy to dairy, and now I can't drink milk, eat cheeses, nothing like that, without my whole body busting out in hives.
Like not
And
even in small amounts.
like small amounts, kind of.
Like say like you have like a slice of pizza.
Uh huh.
Will
It
one slice set you off and then you're covered in hives?
Yes and no. Like if I have the slice of pizza, hives will sprout, but like in small areas, like my thighs, and
Oh,
it's like very small quantities, like it's manageable and unnoticeable.
I
And then
see.
they go away the next day. But if I have like a full glass of milk and then eat cheese throughout the day, not only will I sprout hives throughout my entire body, but I'll get like stomach cramps and diarrhea and even nausea and yeah, all that stuff, all that jazz.
Damn.
Yeah, and it sucks because fucking I love cheese, man. Cheese is so good. It's like it's like the God sent it to for us to enjoy, and I can't enjoy it anymore because of my fucking body.
What
I
about
hate it.
those lactose pills?
I think it doesn't work mainly because my body's not allergic to lactose.
Oh,
I think it's just
okay.
allergic to dairy itself.
Oh, all right.
Because I drank lactate milk, which is supposed to be milk without lactose, so that way you could people who are lactose intolerant could enjoy it.
Mm,
And even that made me sprout some hives, like small amounts.
damn.
So I was like, yep, clearly dairy is not an option at all anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's another factor for my years going great tab.
Oh man.
Oh man, but yeah. So what else you got planned, Jolen, for the rest of the
Um.
year? How you gonna make yourself feel good, or at least try to turn this year around so it doesn't stay crappy?
Well, first I have to get over the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
I
that's
gotta get
true.
rid of these tickets. You know.
Yeah, you either just gotta go to the concert and stick it through, and once you're out, you're out, or just try to get rid of the tickets before the concert shows up.
But Victor, you can only hear Backstreet's Back so many times before you lose it.
I know, man. I know, and it hurts. It hurts for your whole body.
Yeah. But speaking of it, like I think today, so we're recording on the 20th.
Uh huh.
This is my one, two, three. This is my fifth day, being sick,
Uh huh.
and I gotta tell you, man, it's an experience.
Like what do you like a bad experience?
So, yeah. So like, the first night was kind of the roughest night for me.
Yeah, you told
Aside
me.
from aside from last night. Last night was pretty
Oh,
bad.
yeah. It was last night that like the fever re-emerged and
Yeah.
stuff.
So last night I got a fever and I took some Tylenol, but it did absolutely nothing.
Uh huh.
So I was just laying in bed waiting for it to work, waiting for the fever to go down, but it didn't, and I ended up falling asleep. And when I woke up, the pillow was drenched with sweat. Where I was laying down on my bed was drenched with sweat, and my shirt was drenched with sweat.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But the first night was crazy because um aside from like I didn't know I was gonna start experiencing symptoms
Mm-hmm.
because on Monday we got my dad tested, and then his results came back right away on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, that's when he
Oh,
got the results of like, oh, you're going to the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
it's like congratulations, you got yourself some tickets.
Yeah, and then once, because he had already had like flu-like symptoms, but we brushed it off. We were like, oh, it's just the flu, because
Okay.
he only went to work for 2 days, and then he quit his job because he couldn't. He was a nurse, and he
Yeah.
couldn't deal with wearing all the protective equipment.
Yep. Like the whole hazmat suits and stuff like that. Just for protection.
Yeah, but we think in those 2 days, he contracted the reunion tour, or he
Oh, I
got
see.
tickets to the reunion tour.
Yeah.
Um, and then he went those days not showing symptoms, but he was spreading it to us, which we didn't know.
Of course,
And then when he
because he
got
hasn't shown
so
symptoms.
then Tuesday was like my third day of being infected, and that's when my symptoms
And
started to show.
yep.
And that night was crazy because I had a headache that did not go away. Like the whole day, I had a headache and nothing helped.
Oof,
I had fevers and I had body aches, and I went to sleep. And we were all of us, my whole family, we were already pretty, down in the dumps because of my dad's diagnosis. And then we were all just thinking about it, like what you hear in the news, and trying to figure out what we're gonna do to weather the storm. So morale was pretty low.
Yeah, like you were thinking about the worst possibilities, worst outcomes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that night, I'm sick. I go to sleep, and I'm like trying my hardest to actually fall asleep because I couldn't, because I was just like fevers and body aches and headaches. And this is the weird thing that comes in, because I have a fever dream, and this fever dream was something completely different. It was like I was talking to this like faceless, bodiless being, and
What?
I had all these questions about, like, oh, why do I feel so bad? Like, how come my fever isn't going down? Why do I still have this headache? Like contemplating my own symptoms.
Yeah.
But this like, in the dream, he was personified by like a brown cube.
You were just talking to a floating brown cube?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was just like a brown cube in like this void.
Like an empty white room, or just like complete utter blackness and you just saw the cube there?
It wasn't like a white room. It was like a yellowish, like natural ambient lighting.
Oh, I see. But it was nothing but the cube in there.
Yeah, it was just me and the cube.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was like asking all these questions, and the cube kept on giving me like those replies like, "Oh, you already know what to do."
What?
And I was like, okay. And he would give me these like, I would ask him stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask, like, what type of questions were you asking though? Like questions about life, or questions about like your illness, or
There were
like
questions about my illness and like my the past like couple hours or past couple days.
yeah.
Just things like, oh, what's gonna happen to like, what's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen to like our family? Like, are we gonna get better? And he kept on giving me those like very vague answers that kind of leads you. They're like those probing questions. Like, oh, like, well, what do you mean? What do you think this means?
Oh, I see. It's like this like psychologist questions that make you want to go, like you have to look for the answer deep within yourself.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like thinking about it in my dream, which I feel like I was lucid dreaming, because after I got like all these answers from this cube, I like wake up and suddenly like I knew how to deal with this headache.
What?
And
Like
I could like, I don't know, it was weird. Like my fever started to go down.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, that's kind of
So I thought, so okay, like,
look,
look,
right there.
this is where I'm getting at. So
Uh-huh.
after I had this lucid dream, I thought about it, and one of the things that I believe heavily in life is how most people, when they think of, so say for example, when I think of myself, right?
Uh-huh.
You think about like your character, your personality, your intellect, your like everything mental.
Yeah.
What makes
Like
you,
like
right?
what exactly. What makes you who you are.
Yeah, but the thing that a lot of people forget is that that's only one part of you. Your body is a being in itself.
Oh, it's like the ego and the id.
Yeah,
Like there's two parts to everybody.
yeah. So like, and it's one of those things where like when you're very hold on. Okay, so it's like if you've ever heard about those people who have like failed suicide attempts,
Uh-huh.
they say that like in their mind like is racing, and they, you know, all they want to do is like just do it.
Yep.
But as soon as they do it, they have that like, oh fuck moment, like I messed up.
It's the halfway down feeling.
Yeah,
It's
so
the
some
it's that
people,
feeling you get when you jump off the bridge and you're halfway down and you're looking up and you're like, shit, I actually did it, and you have no way of like stopping yourself because you're already halfway. You're midair, but you can't go back to previous. But at the same time, you know what's coming.
yeah, so most people like um they'll when they do wake up from that failed suicide attempt or something,
Mm-hmm.
they always accredit like, oh, when my mind was too weak to fight for itself, my body fought for its like for its right to be alive.
Oh, I see. So it's like when the spirit has given up, the body, the instincts take over.
Yeah, exactly. So like you know, for some people who are hearing this, and I'm having this like this personal like conversation with this like faceless being, some people might think it's like, oh, you're speaking to like God or whatever, but I
Yeah,
really
like
think like I was just talking to myself, like my mind was talking to my body.
Yeah, like I was gonna tell you that. I was like, if you were to tell this to my family in Mexico, they're very religious, so automatically they would be like, "Oh man, you had like a near death experience, so you clearly talked to God, and He was telling you whether you wanted to stay or not, or something like that."
Yeah,
But
and
in
like,
reality, it was just yourself.
yeah, like I really think I was just talking to myself.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel the same way.
So that was like the first night of being sick.
Yeah, that was the fever dream.
Yeah, and I mean, you could just chalk it down as being just some weird ass fever dream. But I
That too.
mean, after I had it, like everything worked out.
That that is cool though. That is such a like a deep dive into the mental state of how you were when you were sick.
Yeah,
It's like it's like your body itself was telling you how to take care of it.
yeah,
It's like your body was telling your mind like, "Hey, this is what we need to do to get through this, but we will get through this, and it's just the worst part right now."
yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's pretty crazy, bro. That's insane.
I know, and I've never had like an experience like that.
Me neither, but that actually did remind me of this like internet post I saw. I think it was like a Facebook post that somebody posted. Um, it was like this girl was posting about how a crazy dream she had the night before, and it was like she had this dream where she was in an empty room, kind of like the game PT.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a room like that, but all that was in the room was herself, a giant fish tank, and then like this ugly looking fish that was like very humanoid or something. And
Really?
she looked at the fish, and the fish looked at her, smiled, and then in a deep, weird voice said, "You better wake up before you forget how to." Or no, it said, "You've been here a long time. You better wake up before you forget how to." And she instantly woke up that moment. Finished saying that sentence in a cold sweat in her bed, and like people were commenting on her post saying like, I dude, like you were in hell, like that was hell for you, like you like for her it felt like she's been there for like a long time. In reality it's only been like a few hours. And
Wow.
it's like, well, it's just like you said, it's just the mind playing tricks on you. Like the whole thing to the movie Inception, where it's like dreams move faster, so or
Yeah.
slower, more time goes by in a dream than real life. And it's like that's what your dream reminded me of, just because of the whole aspect of like you talking to what seemed to be another being, but in reality was just your own mind.
Yeah,
That's crazy stuff right there, man. I've never experienced that.
I know.
Damn. See, fucking that's it's interesting to see how the body reacts when it's under attack by a foreign entity, I suppose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. And how are you feeling now? How are you feeling? Like, what's the progress?
I mean, so okay, like Tuesday was the worst day, which is the first day like my symptoms showed up,
Yeah.
and then the following days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I was pretty good.
You were, it was manageable.
Yeah, like I didn't have the headaches anymore, I didn't have the body aches anymore, but I still had the occasional fever.
Uh huh.
So I would just take some Tylenol and I would be good.
Okay, that's good.
But last night, which I already said, like
It
it
resurfaced.
yeah, it was one of the badder days.
Yeah.
But right now I'm okay. I still I don't feel like I have a fever, but I'm kind of clammy.
Okay.
Like I'm like sweating a little.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like your body still. You could tell your body's still fighting off the infection.
Yeah.
I see. But
But
it's
yeah.
not as bad as a Tuesday, right?
No, no, no.
That's good.
I'm like way better than that.
Do you still know how to like fight off the headaches and stuff like that, or is that
I haven't really
like,
had headaches since then.
oh no?
No.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well,
But
hopefully
like
this week is the
after
last week for you.
yeah, but after Tuesday, I started to develop like a lack of appetite.
Yeah. So
And that
you
still
haven't
kind of
eaten much?
persisted. No, I think like yesterday. What did I eat yesterday? I had I had a bowl of oatmeal, some
Mm-hmm.
chicken broth, and then some chicken broth and rice.
Oh, and that's it. Like that's all
Yeah,
you
that's all I had.
managed to keep down.
Yeah, I mean not to keep down, but like I didn't have the sensation or like the want to eat.
Yeah, the hunger. You didn't have any hunger.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's the good news is that it's pretty. It's pretty normal. You know what I mean? When you're sick, when people have the flu, or whenever you're trying to fight off an infection, that's usually what happens. You get loss of hunger. You don't have an appetite.
Yeah.
But that's just mainly because your body is like trying to tell you that it rather use its energy to fight off the infection rather than use its energy to digest anything you want to eat.
Yeah. Oh,
So
there's like a new article that's floating around
yeah.
that's pretty interesting that apparently people with like so I'm gonna put a warning on this statement. Like obviously I've read like two articles about this, but by no means is it true. um do your
It's just
own
what you've heard.
research. It's just
Mm-hmm.
something that I'm saying. It can be completely false later down the
Yep.
line, but as of this point, it's just something that I noticed.
Yeah, like take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I don't want to spread any misinformation.
Yeah, exactly.
But apparently, the two articles that I saw are people who have blood type A experience the coronavirus like way worse than everybody else.
Really? Like blood type might affect it?
Yeah, like the people who are more resistant or have an easier time when they get infected are blood type O's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's
And it
crazy.
has to do something with the fact that like O's don't carry any A or B antigens.
Uh-huh.
So when our body picks up any of those A or B antigens from other people's like spit or sneeze or whatever,
Yeah.
we're more likely to just fight it indiscriminately versus if someone's like blood type A and they find like A antigens, they're just like, it's whatever.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but a lot of
What?
a lot of professionals have noticed this too.
Oh, it's like it's like if you're A type and you find some like B antigens, it's like this is not normal. We have to fight it off, and that's why you experience worse symptoms.
Yeah, versus
Whereas,
someone who's like, who gets infected by someone who's O, we have no antigens, so then the body is
hmm
just like, oh, there's no immediate presence
yeah,
or
oh,
immediate
that's
threat.
it makes sense, but
Versus
that's
A versus
crazy.
O's, everything is a threat.
Yeah. Wow, that is a fascinating like take on that. I have not heard of that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It, I mean, if it does help any progress in like studying this, then by all means, I would love to hear more about that. I
Man,
got, like you said, I got to do my own research
yeah,
because
you do.
it's fascinating.
Um,
Not
but
bad.
yeah, I don't know. That's all the stuff that I got.
Well, hopefully you feel better in a few days, man. Hopefully it doesn't get worse, and like you said, if it does, if it is blood related, you're O, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm O type.
yeah, so you should at least like the worst should be done by now. Hopefully, if
Well,
that's
it's still
true.
too early.
It's still what?
It's still too early. Like usually symptoms will last between like 14 to a month. Well, most people get better by like 14 days.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying hopefully you're through the worst.
Yeah.
Like hopefully like the headaches don't come back, and then hopefully you start regaining your appetite as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just stay safe, bro.
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah,
Keep hydrated.
get some of that coconut water, man. The super hydrant.
Ooh, sounds pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but for myself, I like I said, I got sick as well. Like the day before I was gonna come back to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
and I myself never took into consideration that it might be the Backstreet Boys. Um, but for some reason, good thing I nobody thought that either. Like in my family, nobody jumped to that conclusion as well. Because if we did, we would have like freaked out a lot more than we actually, handled it. Um, but good thing nobody jumped to conclusions because it really just was a normal fever. It wasn't the Backstreet Boys, and it was taken care of with like medicine with like a single shot, and I was good to go. And then when I came back to the United States, I was completely cured. Like I didn't have a fever. I didn't have a cough, nothing like that. So I'm feeling
Oh.
good myself now. That was like a few days ago. Well, it was like last week now, right? It's been a week now since I've been back.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I it's crazy times, man. Everybody's getting sick left and right. You just gotta be careful.
Yep. All right,
Um.
Victor. I got everything that we've talked about up to this point. Just scrap it. It means nothing. This is
Oh,
the only
okay.
thing that matters.
All right. Oh, what laid on me, boy?
The Last of Us 2.
Oh my god. The Last of Us 2.
Hold on. Uh,
So wait, so okay, so you were saying the Last of Us 2.
oh, yeah. So, I don't have a PlayStation 4, so I'm watching people play it,
Uh-huh.
and I gotta tell you, it lived up. Well,
To the
it
hype.
exceeded my expectations already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what did you have planned for it? Like what did you have in mind?
Well, I mean, it's based on the two trailers that they released, right?
Mhm.
I already had my own pre-assumptions of what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Like you had your theories and stuff?
yeah,
Okay.
like I had my like obviously the big one was um, like Joel is already dead
Uh-huh.
because I think in like the two trailers you never see his face and you only see like you only see like the back of his head or like his shoulder.
Oh, I see. Like he didn't get as much face time in the trailers as like the original game, like where he was the main character, so you would be
Yeah,
like
and I kind of figured I was like, all
obvious.
right, this game is gonna focus more on Ellie.
Yeah, yeah, I felt the same way too when I saw the trailers. Like
Um,
I didn't come up with the same theory that you did, where he might be dead. I did assume that this game was gonna be like its main character was gonna be Ellie this time.
yeah, because I mean, she looks older in the trailers,
Yeah.
like a
Oh
lot
yeah. Way
older.
older. Mm-hmm. Big time.
Um,
And well, let's just put a spoiler warning in
no,
case anybody.
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
You sure? You don't
Yeah,
want to talk about it?
I
What
just
we've
wanted to
seen so
like,
far?
I just wanted to mention it because this whole like quarantine and staying at home, I think Animal Crossing and The Last of Us 2 are like the best games to have come out at this time.
That's true. Yeah, because everybody's indoors and you get a chance to play them nonstop and fully immerse yourself in them.
Yeah, and the weird thing is like, so I'm watching Jacksepticeye play it, right?
Yeah, me too.
And even just watching it, it looks amazing. So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
big time.
imagine if like I was playing it on my own TV,
Mm-hmm. Like right in
you
front of
know?
you, and actually, it's your actions that you have to control and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the weird thing is like, well, not the weird thing, but the thing to note is like this is gonna be one of the last games on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, that's true.
Like, of course, they're
Yeah.
gonna make like The Last of Us 2 for PlayStation 5, and then imagine how
Yeah.
good that's gonna look
Yeah.
with
But like as
like,
for right now, it's like it's gonna be one of the what is it the last year for the PlayStation 4
yeah,
for and this is one of the last big games because I mean what
or
other big
like
games
the
are gonna
last big
come out
game.
or the last big game, yeah, because I haven't heard of any other big games coming out before the PS5 comes out. Have you?
Not real. The last game that I heard of was like Persona 5 Royal or something.
Oh yeah, but wait, is that a separate game in itself? I always assumed it was like one of those
I don't know enough about
complete
Persona.
editions. Yeah, me neither. Like I said, I just assumed it was like one of those complete editions where it came with all the DLCs and stuff.
Yeah.
But another game, like just a quick segment, just a quick mention, because I know there's not a lot of fans out there, but they remade the SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom game,
Oh
and
yeah.
I think it's out already. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't, I was been gone for a month, so I didn't keep up with it.
I don't think it's
But
out yet.
no,
I'll look it up right now.
because I saw a video on YouTube where one of the guys that he talks about it a lot on his channel. He
Oh,
was unboxing the most expensive uh collector's edition that it had, and it came with like three
yeah.
statues. And I was like, I don't know if it's out.
As of today, the date that we're recording, it's coming out in 2 days, 11 hours and 20 minutes.
That's why. Yep, that makes sense. Oof. That means it's coming out what Monday? Because today's
Yeah.
Saturday. Yeah, it's coming out Monday. God, I want to buy that game so much, so badly. That I grew up with that game,
Um
so I really want to play it. And I love SpongeBob.
yeah, you were asking about like what other games are coming out or stuff.
Yeah, what other huge AAA games are gonna come out for the
I
PS4
don't
before
I
it
don't
dies
know if
out?
Cyberpunk 2077 is going to come out for the PS4.
They said it would, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those like what were those called? Console release games?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you could if you bought it for the PS4 and you bought a PS5, you could play the PS4 game on the PS5, but they're gonna release it with the new console is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it,
think they're going to make any more like big PlayStation 4 release titles. I think they're going to save some of them for the PS5 because I know I saw a YouTube video where the title was like, "Oh, there's going to be a Crash Bandicoot 4."
oh yeah, I heard about that too.
And then there's
I'm
gonna
not
be
100% sure about that.
either there's gonna be like a DLC or like a second Spider-Man game where you play as Miles.
Miles Morales. Yeah, but I think that one for sure is a PS5 game though.
Yeah.
Have you seen it was on YouTube. It's like a showcase of all the PS5 games. Have you
No,
seen
I
that video?
haven't.
Yeah, it's like Sony did this like kind of like a conference, kind of like E3 sort of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but they released it specifically on like online, where it's just pure videos and showcasing what they have planned for the future.
Yeah.
And that was where they released how the PS5 looked, like the actual system. Alongside with that video, they also released a video of like all the games that they're going to release or that they have planned to release with the PS5. Not on the date of release, but like that are going to be PS5 exclusives, that sort of stuff.
I
And
see.
I saw that video, and literally one of the first games that show up in that video is that Spider-Man one that you talked about, the Miles Morales.
Oh, interesting.
And so I don't know what's gonna happen. I it by the sound of it, I'm not 100% sure. Like you said, take this with a grain of salt. Um, I keep hearing that it might have backwards compatibility, so that your PS4 games could be played on the PS5. But I'm not 100% sure of that. And all I could say is I hope it does. So
I
that
mean,
way,
if it does, you have to get the PlayStation 5 with the disc, not the digital edition.
yeah, exactly, for your physical copies.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Senor. I don't know if you want to pause or you just want to end it because I need to use the restroom.
Uh. All right. I guess yeah. We'll end it right here, man.
All
I
right.
think we had a good long run right now.
All right.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us on another podcast on the comeback podcast, and
Yeah.
and we really appreciate you guys being so patient with us on our hectic upload schedule with this. But you know how crazy 2020 is, but we just appreciate your time and thank you for listening. We love you guys.
Yeah, and don't forget
So
to like and subscribe if you want to stay informed on when our podcasts come out or anything we post on the channel.
yeah, definitely. Follow us on Instagram. That's where we usually post our new updates as well, if anything new is coming up. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you in the next podcast.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay beautiful.